Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Today on the podcast, I'm very lucky, privileged to have Nicole Antoniou on the podcast. She is the founder of the Butterfly Squad. How are you today, my lady? How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Glad to have you here. Oh my Lord. Look, before this podcast, yes, Antonio has Nicole has a very infectious voice, sort of picking up a bit of her accent. Even though I'm a North London lad myself, it was like, yes. I was like, yeah. So please excuse if T's are dropped. We're going to be having a good time.
We are
No
indeed.
doubt. Yes. I have to ask, Nicole, what got you started on the Butterfly Squad and being in it for the last 14 and a bit years?
Long time. So I have two girls, both grown now. I mean, my youngest is 18, but my eldest, she was extremely shy to the point that everything was an ordeal for her. Stuck to me like a bit of glue. Everything was tears and just so uncomfortable in her own skin. And I was on my own personal development journey at that time. And I started to implement some tools and techniques into her world that she could use. And her headmaster called me into her school one day and was like, "What have you done with this child? She is completely different." So for me, my light bulb moment went on then, and I thought, I'm going to write something for children. There's nothing really like it out there. And that's where my journey began. So then I went into her school and started running a pilot project. So I just got given small groups of children and I'd sit with them and we'd talk about stuff, and there was no formula at that time. And as I went on, I started to formulate it into lessons. So then it had, an order rather than us just going in and going crazy with anything and everything. And from then, moving on, I was then just an outsource, really. I used to just go boots on ground to schools all over Essex, all over the country, actually, and teach children Butterfly Squad. Then I incorporated it with fitness because the two, go beautifully together. And then when the pandemic happened, I wanted to continue to get it out there. But obviously, A, there was just me. And then B, obviously, there were boundaries in place. So I met this guy who said, turn it into an animation. So I was like, okay. And that's where that journey began, of making it into an animation. And then here we are 16 episodes later. So pretty much that's kind of how the journey's gone, really.
Yeah, my word. Because this is the thing, starting up a program, which was inspired from, I take it from your training as a NLP coach, to then put that, work with your own child to get that formulated, but to get it to work with other kids. Let's just say, when it comes to tricky clients, I would say kids must be the hardest ones of them all.
No, see, I disagree. I feel personally that when we're born, I always look at it like we've got this bag, and as we go through life, we start, filling this bag with our core beliefs and our limiting beliefs and our experiences that we didn't like and all of that stuff, and we start carrying it around with us everywhere that we go. So if we then decide to start a journey later on in life, we have to, empty that bag and start going through it and putting things and here, there and everywhere, and making new intentions around things. So with children, starting them young, for the most part, they don't come with a big sack full of stuff, thankfully. Obviously some do. So, very quickly we'll say to them, if we gave you a magic wand, what would you change about yourself to be a better version of yourself? What feelings would you make go away? What behaviours would you stop doing? So from the moment they meet us, we are telling them that whatever it is that they want to change, we will show them how to do it. So we have them. And squad means family. Family means no kid left behind. We tell kids that if you never want to get in trouble again, you don't have to. We can show you how to make that happen. So we put them in charge of their own actions, choices, reactions and feelings to make their own changes throughout their day, all day, every day, for life. So it's not really, we're not talking to them about being kind. I mean, there are things in there about that, but it's not a lecture. You know, we give them a new tool and technique, and they go off into their worlds and they use it wherever they see fit. And that's how they create their own transformation. And then because they associate feeling with it, they're all in. So, you know, we have kids that go, oh, it's butterfly squad day. You know, parents say like they get out of bed, they're out the door. So I personally find children not challenging.
Not challenging. Okay. No, like, you know what I mean? All I've got to say is, like, yes, I have dealt with one or two children in my time as a camp counselor.
Excuse me.
And yeah, I just gotta say, yeah, their character, their development, and like, yeah, their personalities. Woo, there can be some which are, hey, let's just say, interesting to challenging. But like, yeah, I always love to see their way they sort of grow and develop over the course of time. Like, I would love to have a snapshot of what some of my campers were like back then, to see them today, to see what type of people they've turned into.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I like the fact that you went yes. Like, the emphasis on your program is about taking like self control, responsibility for yourself and one's actions.
Yes.
Where I would say, how can I say? Where I would say we in today's society we excuse a number of things because they're children, rather than say, hey, you are responsible for what you're doing right now. Like, step up and shape up if you want to do like things better. How has the sort of reception been sort of from parents? Because, you know what I mean, there's a broad spectrum of parents out there, all with their own philosophies.
I mean, you know, I did carry out a lot of data after when I was in schools, and we asked parents all of these kinds of questions because obviously, you know, feedback is important, and obviously that's how you grow. And you know, we had some amazing feedback. You know, how their children's behaviour had changed at home, more helpful, kinder to their siblings. How, as a family dynamic, it was more communicative because child was going home and sharing about their day, and also owning up to if they'd done something wrong, or helping mum with the washing, or, you know, just generally being a better, you know, I don't know, going to school, you know, you have to ask a child like 35 times, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, put your shoes on, we're leaving in 5. You know, mum will say, it's time to put your shoes on, and she'll turn around and child has the shoes on. And, you know, because the child, you know, say we've done the lesson proud moments, you know, we'll say, look for your proud moments during the day. So because the child is awake to their mind, they will then acknowledge that to themselves as a proud moment. Mum asked me to put my shoes on and I did it. So we say that it does make parenting nicer because, you know, parenting is challenging at the best of times, and to have an open, communicative household and have a child that's actually in charge of their actions and reactions and the way they're conducting themselves and making their own moves, like their own changes, you know, it's a nice dynamic, I feel.
Well, that's the thing. It sounds wonderful. Like, you know what I mean? As the old saying goes, you're a parent when you have one child. Like, yeah, you're a bouncer when you have two. And anything above that number, it's just, yeah, your peacekeeping force. It's like, regardless.
I mean, nothing could have prepped me for my second child. My first was just so quiet, and, you know, she was just how she was. And then Hope came along. And she you know, you could not, we called her the kid. Where's the kid? What's the kid doing? Like, she's still called the kid now. I still call her the kid. Hello, kid. Because you just could not take your eyes off of her for a second. You know, anything. Hope just wanted to learn about life and touch and feel and see and do, which is amazing. I mean, she's channeled all of that, which was challenging for me as a parent. And she's a remarkable young lady because she's channeled all of that now. But as a, you know, parent to that young child, yeah, she was... I was like, my hair was standing on end. Bedtime used to come round very early.
It's like, I bet you weren't. I'm not gonna like hope if you're listening to this. Like the question I'm about to ask is like, yeah, were you keeping one eye on that clock? That's like, oh yeah, come on now,
She,
come
she
on.
says to me sometimes, we laugh. She said to me, she say to me, "Mummy, why is it still daylight outside?" And I say, all the other children are still playing outside. I don't know why, darling, but it is bedtime. Yeah, she was
It's
brilliant.
July.
She was
It's
a
like,
fun child, but just so full on, so full on.
uh, like, because from what I've read, yeah, you've pretty much raised them both by yourself.
I
Is that
have.
correct?
Hmm.
Yeah, like because like this is the thing. I have like the old saying of yeah, like when it makes me laugh, especially now. I've kind of like I'm a father of an 18-month, like 18-month, like year old.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but it's like yeah, it made me when found out kid was on like she was on the way. It was like okay, there was a lots of me paying attention to everyone else's kids coming into it. Like my next door neighbor back when we were like in North London still we've moved, but it was like yeah, watching their two kids come out like the first one was pretty much like your oldest. That's like, yes. That's like peaceful,
Colouring,
sweet.
doing stickers,
Yeah, yeah,
just quiet.
yeah. It's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, how you? Like for the longest time, I didn't know her name because it was like, yeah, like it was, the other one. Just like, yeah, like I swear, there was times where I found like it was like, can you hear that howling? Yeah, that's our next door neighbor's kid.
Yeah.
That's
And he's like, "Hi, here I am. Play with me, play with me, do with me, do with me." Yeah.
yeah,
Second one is completely
and
different.
yeah. So the personalities, like when everyone says, like, oh yeah, no, whatever comes out of the box comes out of the box, and you just got to adjust and deal with that. But like, how did you manage to maintain your energy levels between these two extremely different personalities? Where you know what I mean?
I just got different things from both of them. I mean, you know, Destiny would like doing certain things, and there's a 9 year age gap as well. So I had a very big age gap between them, which obviously made it easier because Destiny was that much older once Hope came along. Um, so obviously the age gap being as it was, Destiny and I, you know, would curl up and do popcorn nights, and you know, I would do the things that she liked doing, and then Hope was just full on in the day, and so the balance was fine. I got, you know, they both bring very different things to the party for the personalities that they have. I mean, Hope makes me belly laugh, you know, and I love her. You know, she is very playful, and you know, we're always playing pranks on each other, and so yeah, they just bring different things to the table, really.
Mm, love it, love it. I have to ask, what was one of the key things what was highlighted to you a lesson when you had your first child and what was another sort of key thing when you had both of your kids was there another
Well, I was quite young when I had Destiny, so I was
mm,
still, you know, learning about myself, and I was in a very different state of life at that point. So I grew with my first, I would say. I was growing myself and learning about myself and learning how to balance my own emotions and actions and learning the work myself. So, I mean, I was a good mum. You know, I was, you know, we'd always play and was always together and all of that stuff. But when Hope came along, it was it was different because I was I'd done it, but B, I knew myself better. So
mm,
you know, I mean, bringing them up on my own came with a lot of challenges. You know, I had to keep a roof over our head and food on the table, and you know, I wanted to do this idea, which you know, I had to try and do that as well as maintain keeping a roof over our head and dinner on the table. So it's come with many challenges being a parent. But lessons, I think that I just learn. I'm still learning every day. You know, I
mm-hmm,
mean, Hope's a teenager now. She's off to uni this year. I mean, our communication is beautiful. We communicate so well. Whereas when Destiny was her age, we probably didn't communicate as well because I was still learning myself to communicate at the level that I communicate at now. So I think that when you're a parent, you are growing with your children because we're doing life for the first time as well, right? So we grow with them.
No, I'd say this is the thing. I would say with regards to, I don't like for myself as a parent. I think there's I have the type of personality which will do self reflection when it's like that period where it's like, yes, you need to start doing some self reflection. Sit down, work, like start trying to work things out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. Like as a parent, I do not have everything worked out, and there is times where, like, I won't lie, I sit on the sidelines, pretty much like a chocolate teapot, like going,
Head in
"What can
hand.
I do?"
Yeah.
No, just like it is what it is, and like trying to sort of like work on it in the moment. I'm not the person at that time, and there's two of
Mm.
us, which spreads the load. So I've got all the admiration and like respect to you for being able to do it by yourself with two kids, as well
Yeah.
as launching the Butterfly Squad program. So
Thank
it's
you.
like, yeah, oh, no worries. When you had your sort of chocolate teapot moments, who did you turn to? Because like me, you're there by yourself at that time. Who?
There were many times when I had my head in my hands, believe me. My
Mm-hmm.
dad was a very, very strong presence in my life and was, supported me wholeheartedly. I used to be highly emotional, especially like when Hope was young. So,
Mm.
I'd something would happen and I'd like have my head in my hands and I would just phone him and just and then just carry on, and then that might happen 3 or 4 times in a day, those kind of moments. Well, I don't have those as much in me because I can notice the life shocks that I have is what I call life shocks, and then I'll work through them, and I'm always looking for a solution or self care. Have an early night tonight, Nick. Just have an early night, wake up, start again. I have my coffee outside every morning, so I start my day outside. I'll do my affirmations, and I'm working on what works for me, which is just having that more level of calm so that I can think clear, so therefore attack what I need to attack for the day. So don't sweat the small stuff. I don't sweat the small stuff anymore,
Ah,
really.
oh, yes, don't sweat the small stuff.
Mm.
It's one of those things which I agree with, but I do look at other people out there. Sometimes, even myself, there will be times where, yeah, wait, am I sweating the small stuff, or am I like, you know what I mean, going taking care of business? Sometimes I do sweat the small stuff. I won't lie,
We all do.
but yeah, I get it. Now, you you've built like most probably a array of tools to get you to like become, I would say, a stronger and wiser person over the course of time with your two kids and everything like this.
Hmm.
Now, with regards to like, okay, some kids, some adults, and stuff like this who might not have, well, kids for sure don't have all of these tools, and like you'll be surprised, quite a lot of adults don't have these tools.
Hmm.
What, yeah, what would you say like would be a good sort of foundation to lay down for an individual or a child or an adult to like get them started on their merry way?
To go, that's why I've gifted the episodes. That's why I'm doing that, gifting the episodes to children all over the world for free. So
Mhm.
to give access for parents to go along and download it and have all 16 episodes, because that is the foundation for a strong, transformational, healthy in the mind child.
Mhm.
And what we find is with our data is that teachers, coaches, parents, they all start to use the work in their own worlds as well, because it's
Mhm.
subliminally. We're all doing the way that we're showing the children, our mind is already doing this stuff, and we're just showing you how to be in charge of it. So you can't help but start to use it. So go and use the work. I've done it for you. You don't need to go and do anything else. Just go to Butterfly Squad, take the work, use the work, and sit back and watch the change happen.
So I have to ask, what is episode 1 about?
So episode 1 is called Magic Wand, and that's what I spoke to you about earlier. We say to children, if we gave you a magic wand, what would you change about yourself to be a better version of yourself? What feelings, behaviours would you make go away, make different? So straight away from episode 1, they're identifying the things that they feel that they would like to work on to be a better version of themselves. And then we say, look, over the Butterfly Squad course, we will show you how to make that happen. And we also introduce what we call being above and below the line. And above the line is where our positive feelings are, and below the line are our negative feelings. And we show them how to be awake and to notice when they are above the line and when they are below the line, and to ask themselves what has happened when they are below the line, which transitions into episode 2, because then we show them that when they're below the line, what's going on and how to get back up above the line. So we want them to be able to live a life that is more above the line rather than below the line. So that's pretty much what episode 1 is.
I see. I'm going to have to consult my inner fairy to get formulating the next question. There you go.
Brilliant. Love it.
There you go.
Love it. Did you watch it?
No. No. I have to ask, why Butterfly Squad of all things? I think I might have an idea why, but why Butterfly Squad?
So butterflies transform. That's what we're showing children how to do, to transform their minds and themselves in however they see fit and however they would like to do that. And also because of the knock-on effect that it has, not just on the child who's using the work, but also, like I said, with teachers and coaches, and like we've had parents writing. We had one parent writing that had a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol at the time. And he said that every week when his son went home and told him what he'd learned in Butterfly Squad that day, he started to implement that into his own life. And then he doesn't drink anymore. And he wrote in to say, he just doesn't drink anymore. He changed that for himself. So, the effect that the butterfly can have, not just with the person that it's using. What's the saying? The flap of the wings can be felt so far away.
The butterfly effect, basically, yes. Flap of the wings of a butterfly, say, on the other side of the world, can lead to a hurricane.
There you go. So butterfly, yes. That, and then squad, because for us, squad means family, and family means no kid left behind. So we like children to feel part of something and to know that Butterfly Squad doesn't leave them behind.
So there you go. I'm liking that. Now, so with this, the Butterfly Squad, everything like this, you've got 16 episodes out there, out in the world, helping people grow.
Mm-hmm.
Is it will you be introducing more episodes to the mix?
Yes, that's definitely the plan. So we have many plans for moving forwards. Definitely more episodes. And we've also started to work on creating a whole new world for Butterfly Squad, so that we can hopefully, or blue sky is to take it to the TV, but not in the format. So at the moment, the format is like a learning program, a learning animation. We've the world that we're currently creating at the moment is based more like on amphibia and that kind of vibe. So the learning, the teachings woven into the episodes, but not directly being taught as they are now. So yeah, the dream is to have it in school, after school, at home, and on the TV, if we can make that happen.
Well, I don't see why not. Look, come on now. If the if a certain like dog with a bunch of squirrels can make it, you know what I mean? I don't see why you guys can't make it, you know?
That is the plan. We're
Yeah,
making all the right moves towards that. So, yeah, that's what I'd like to make. I'd like, for me, my dream would be for Butterfly Squad to be part of children's daily diets in some form or another. So that's what I'm working towards.
I see. I see. So, like, this is the thing. Okay, with Butterfly Squad, like, how far do you think you guys like can take it? Are you like, do you have a team of people helping you? Are you traveling fast by yourself? Are you trying to travel far and like build up a good team of people?
Well, we're just in the process of doing that at the moment. So thus far, it's been myself and my creative director, who helps me do, or who not helps, who does like, all the creative side of stuff. And we obviously have the fitness side as well when we wanted to have that in schools. And the operation side is quite challenging. So that's where we decided to partner and collaborate with others doing, like that are working in the school environment and in their communities, which is why we've just partnered with the FA, well, the ESFA, so the English Schools Football Association. And we've partnered with other
Okay.
football clubs and rugby clubs, and they're all out in their own communities delivering to children. So they're now using Butterfly Squad's work to deliver to children. Or in Dragons Rugby, they are just promoting to all parents, go along and download Butterfly Squad's work so that you can have it. So that's, we're working on growing out, and I will definitely want to grow a team for sure. But as it stands at the moment, I'm just like wearing many, many hats. So just doing, many, many things and many, many jobs at once. But yes, I'd like to grow, and I want to take it over the water. I don't just want it in the UK. For me, it's infinite. I'd like to
Hmm.
just go as far and as wide as I possibly can with it.
Wow. Like, this is the thing. Wow. Like, it's one of those things where always at the base of the mountain, it looked like the whole challenge of it
Mm-hmm.
seems so much bigger, so daunting.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, if you've got
very
to,
much.
you've got to base camp. You've gone past base camp, and like, yeah, I don't even like. It's one of those mountains where you never know how far up you truly are,
Mm-hmm.
because even though you go, that's the peak of the mountain. Yeah, clouds
Yeah.
part a little,
Like,
and
I
there's a little
always
bit
like
further
knock
to
on as
go.
many doors. I like to see like what's behind that door, because you just never know. If we'd stuck with the operation side of just delivering the after school clubs, then on the table we wouldn't have thought about collaborating and partnering. So, that's happened, and now,
Mm,
like I say, like we've just partnered with the FA, and those kind of things wouldn't have happened if I hadn't started thinking outside of the box. So I always, like to take a step back and sort of think, right, what could I do? Who could I contact? What about if I try that route? So that's what I do anyway. But the mountain does seem very high
no,
sometimes.
I can.
I did.
Yeah, I can see how. Like, I can see why you've managed to keep up with your little one. You seem to. Oh, yeah, there seems to be a slight delay, which is throwing things off, but it's okay. We'll
Slight
persevere.
delay,
We'll
sorry.
carry on. I was, I was about to say I can see the reason why. Oh, uh, you managed. Oh, yes, yeah. The lag is getting. Oh no, it happens to the best of us. It happens
That
to the
is,
best of us. Yeah,
sorry.
I can see why you managed to keep up with your little one. You seem to have boundless energy, boundless enthusiasm, and that sort of get up and go spirit, to say the least.
Very passionate about Butterfly Squad. I just know that's what I'm meant to be doing. So it's that passion that drives me. And I've seen the results of so many children and the effects that it's had in their worlds, that also drives me to get it out there to as many children as I possibly can. I do feel tired. I have moments, definitely. Can you hear me? Sorry. But yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I exercise a
No,
fair bit,
I
and
can hear you.
that keeps my energy level. But it's passion for me. It's my want is big. So on the days that I'm like, like when you say about the mountain and I feel like I'm slipping and I'm like, no, the purpose and the vision, it's not about me. It's about trying to make sure that no kid is left behind. And Hope's always, supporting me, on those days. She'll say, come on, Mum, you're doing an amazing job. You can do it. And I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I'll say the same to her and she does it. So I will be that light for her too and I'll do it.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Now, with like with what you're doing now, if apart from doing what you're doing with Butterfly Squad, do you have other sort of plans and ambitions to go and do other things out there?
Aside from Butterfly Squad,
Yes.
I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. Um, I think for me, it will just be to grow Butterfly Squad in every single capacity that I can. And then I would probably, once I've smashed that, then maybe do something along the same lines, but for adults.
I think with regards to what from what you're doing, the message you're like promoting, I think that it translates pretty much immediately for quite a number of adults out there, because there are a number of adults which are not sort of taking responsibility for their lives. It's always on someone else. If they had the magic wand, they what would they change about themselves? And I'm like, look, yes, they do carry a lot more baggage. Some people, and I think there would be like if you give them like one where they could take things
Mm-hmm.
away or change things or make things better and everything like this, they'll be waving that wand from like dusk till dawn, you know. And so I think there is definitely scope for you to help across the board, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do still teach adults in exactly the same capacity, like in the same way that I do teach the children. But like I had to focus on one genre, and I really truly wanted to focus on children, which is why I've developed that whole side for kids. There are so many adults in so much pain, and I don't, I want to be able to help in as much as I can, and show them a different way. So yeah, eventually, very probably, I will do that. But first off, I'm going to absolutely dominate the children.
I'm gonna absolutely dominate the children.
Yeah,
Come here, child.
yeah, no,
It's
dominate,
like,
dominate like for to the outreach for as many children as I can in every single capacity that I can. It's very slow, isn't
brilliant,
it? My
brilliant.
internet. I'm
Now,
sorry.
I have to ask. Oh no, it's put it this way. I have had to operate with like sometimes with an internet connection, even on my side, which has been pretty much like a baked potato from the 1970s. So yeah, just be like,
Hmm.
so yeah, not to worry, not to worry. It's just the way things happen. Like with regards to podcasting in the future. Like, if this podcast ever made any money, I would have my own sort of studio space where I can do
Yeah,
this
of
face to face live. Because, like, this is the thing: as much as we're building rapport over this connection, over this hard connection at this present time, the connection you build when you sit down with people face to face is that much deeper.
I
It
agree.
adds, I can't put a percentage, but it adds a lot more to it, you know?
I agree.
And
And I
yeah,
hope that
I
every
would love to
success to
get
you that
more people. I would love to be like, hey, what you doing here, what you doing there, come along down.
I really hope that happens for you.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. Um, but yeah, yeah. Oh, like this is the thing. Put it this way, we're 329 episodes in. Yeah, by all means. When I get to God knows what number, over 1,000. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, yeah, interesting things will happen from there, to say the least. You know.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Now, have to ask. Now, if there was one thing you could treat with a wish to change, upgrade, get rid of within yourself, what would that one thing be?
I would. I'm really working at the moment on when my parrot keeps bringing in doubt to myself and this journey that I'm on. And I'm on top of it. I'm on top of my parrot, but I want to absolutely make sure that that parrot is silent and that little, when my parrot's in my ear saying, laughing, what are you doing? As if you're going to make this happen, as if that kind of stuff. That to have absolutely when I sort of stop and I go, no, stop it, don't be mean. Like just have that moment where I sort of have that self doubt. So probably that's probably what I'm working on at the moment. I would say for myself because I'm always learning and growing. There's always something to work on to be a better version of myself. And, Parrot will always give you new things to, tell it to be quiet about. And for me at the moment, that is one of my things. What about you?
Indeed. Now, if there was one thing if there was one thing I would say I not wish away completely, but maybe dampen slightly. Uh, Overthinking, like over analyzing, like situations and circumstances, because like yeah, you like going out into the world. There are times where you're like, okay, yeah, this, and then play out all the different scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
rather than like times where if when I'm in the state of flow, I just like go with what my gut says
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And more times than not, it's been right. There's been times where it's been wrong. Don't get me wrong. But yeah. But when it's a case of dropping into that realm of overthinking, over analyzing, or what happens in that situation, I know what happens. It just takes away any sort of positive momentum or negative momentum out of the whole fray. And you just like I just end up being in one position uh, where I don't necessarily want to be. Even if it was like I acted and it was a negative reaction, like negative things came out of it, at least I would know that I could pick up the lesson from whatever that negative thing was and then
Yeah.
grow on that side of things. So it would lead to a positive outcome eventually. Again, if I came across that situation and went forward with a slightly different way or a different scenario. But yeah,
Amazing. That's what we always tell children, We say to everybody, we're not telling you that the parrot's going to go away because we would be lying. Our parrot is with us from the day that we're born for the rest of our lives. But what we are saying is you can be in charge of your parrot. So, if you do choose parrot, which, I still choose parrot sometimes. But when I do that, I know I've done it and I'll be like, okay, Nick, what could you have done differently? well, I could have done this, or I could have done that, or I could have said this, or I could have reacted this way. Okay, I'll do that next time. So we say to kids, if you consistently choose Parrot on the same thing, you're going to consistently get the same outcome. If you do choose Parrot and you think, okay, I'll play out the scenario of how I could have done it differently, and I'll do that next time, that's where the learning, transformation, growth, becoming a powerful ninja of your own mind comes from.
I take it when you keep mentioning Parrot, I take it that's the little voice in your ear spouting the negative vibes on a regular basis. Yes?
Yes. So we have the two voices in our heads. We call the parrot. The parrot's the one that makes us live below the line, doesn't want the best for us, wants us to miss out, not believe in ourselves and all of that stuff. And then we have the fairy. And like I say to everybody, your fairy can look however you want it to look. I personally don't do pink, and I definitely don't really do sequins. And my fairy looks like a ninja. Fairy can look however you want it to look, but that voice is with us again from the day that we're born for the rest of our lives. But that is the one that wants you living above the line, your number one cheerleader, wants the best for you, wants you to go for your hopes, goals, dreams, and will help you get there. So those are the two choice-making voices that we are choosing on all day long. Every single human in the whole world is doing that. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, we are all choosing between our parrot and our fairy all day long. That's why we're going above and below the line all day long. So we show you from episode 3, from the things that are happening that we call life shocks, then how to choose with your parrot and fairy and be in charge. Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. And yes. People, if you could see where we're both sitting, on either side of this connection right now, you'll be amazed at how much we've managed to keep this going.
I know, right? All I can see in my left-hand corner is struggling. Network is struggling. Bad.
Yes,
Sorry.
I can see it coming up. Network struggling.
Yeah.
Primary upload. Oh, slow. I'm like, oh no, nothing to be sorry for. I know. I've enjoyed the conversation, and yes, I look forward to getting you back on and having a conversation face to face. Maybe we shall see.
That'd be amazing.
That'll be that'll be a target for 2025,
Let's put it out
2026.
there.
Be live in person. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because I'm sorry to do this, but I'm because the internet connection I think will truly break on us at some point soon. Can you tell the lovely people how you can be found on the internet, on the interwebs?
Yes, I can. So if you go to www.butterflysquad.rocks, you can sign up there for free for all 16 episodes, and you can find us on Instagram at Butterfly Squad Rocks, where we're talking about all things that are happening and all about the episodes. And so, that's where you can find us. So please go and download them or sign up for them and get your children watching them.
Awesome. I'd like to say thank you to you, Nicole, for coming on today. You have been a delight. You have been a pleasure. And thank you for persevering with our network connection.
Thank you for persevering with mine. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. And thank you so much for having me.
The honor is all mine, my lady. The honor is all mine. Yeah. I'd like to say thank you to you, my friends, my life warriors, for sticking with us all the way to the end of the episode. I'd like to say, please stay well, stay safe, be awesome, be excellent, be fantastic. Be all the positive bees you can be in this world and then some. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day. Yes. Peace. And we are